Hello, Dr. Vonda Wright.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great. How are
I'm
you?
finding good light.
Oh, good.
Look at me going all over the place. There we go. That's not
You
bad,
look
is it?
great. You look great. Thank you so much for graciously joining us. Everybody, Dr. Wright is en route from point A to point B. She's joining us from an airport this afternoon. So we're going to get started. We have very limited time with her today. First of all, congratulations on your newest book. We're very
Thank
excited
you.
about it. It's
Yeah.
wonderful. It's titled Unbroken. What?
Unbreakable.
Sorry,
Unbreakable.
I wrote unbreakable. I said
It's
unbroken.
okay.
Apologies.
Yep, it's
What does
okay.
that word mean to you right now?
Well, you would think that it was simply, I'm going to speak like this so you can hear me.
Okay.
You would think it is simply a nod to be an orthopedic surgeon and talking about bones, which we do. We do tell you all about bones in a way you've never heard of it. But when you close the back cover of this book, having learned the science of aging, having learned an entirely new blueprint for how to move in midlife, and then learn all the things I talked about how to really um, perform in life, in your home, in your job, in your relationships at a high level. I hope what you're going to do is close the back cover and feel hope for the future. Because when I think about being unbreakable, it's about being physically resilient, but most of all, it's about being mentally resilient because aging is not for sissies. And we
Mhm.
have to believe that we can make an impact on that.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
You said, Dr. Wright, that mobility is the currency of independence. I think you're speaking to that a bit now.
yeah,
What
yeah.
are the top two things women in their 40s, 50s, and beyond? And also, I would throw in younger women, women in their 30s who are just starting to sort of recognize that they're in that perimenopausal season of life, or at least it's coming down the pike. Um, what is it that they can do today that will help to shore themselves up in their later
Well,
years?
so for people who are currently sitting on the couch, and that's
Mhm.
okay if you are, I
Mhm.
call I call just getting started something like adult onset exercisers or once upon a timers because we're still remembering when we used to do stuff. If you're in that boat, the best thing you can do to start out is to start a streak. Yeah, and what is a streak?
Yeah.
In running, a streak is doing something 7 days in a row. So if you are truly starting out, all I need you to do is for 7 days in a row without failing, take a brisk walk after your biggest meal.
Okay.
Because after 7 days, you're going to have invested in yourself. And then we can really get some work going.
Okay, that's super helpful. Thank you. And it makes me think about sort of habit forming, right? You need to kind of lay the
Yep.
groundwork pretty well for at least a week, I know up to three, to create a new habit. So super helpful. What kinds of resistance training is non-negotiable in midlife?
Well, you have to ask yourself what we're working for, right? Because
Okay.
if you're going to put in the time, you might as well get out the return on investment. So
Mhm.
I think this is important. So I'm going to spend some time on it. Many women are handed a 5 pound weight and told to lift it 25 or 30 times. I have literally had women come in to my office, and that's fine if you are trying to build endurance.
Sure.
But endurance is not going to keep you alive. Then we may be trained to lift in a range between 10 and 15 reps. And that's fine if we're trying to build hypertrophy or big muscles. But in midlife and beyond, we are lifting for strength and power so that we can do what we want to do when we want to do it, ask for help only when we want to, not because we're dependent. Because when do we end up going to a nursing home? We
Sure.
end up going when we can't get up off a chair by ourselves or our brain doesn't work, right? And so lifting now for strength and power means lifting heavy. And that sometimes takes a little while to get to if you're just starting out. lifting heavy, meaning in the Unbreakable book, I prescribe it as failure in 4 lifts, maybe 5, but not 8, 10, 12.
Right.
That takes a little while to work up to. But you know what happens when you do that? Not only do you become incredibly lean and build muscle for a lifetime, but you feel like a badass.
Yeah, you really do.
You
You really do.
do.
And may I pull that thread just a bit more? We've talked about this before, that heavy enough to failure, 4 or 5 reps. Are
Yeah.
you doing this in sets of 3, or what is that really looking like in the gym?
So for the 4 complex lifts, meaning push pull with your upper body, bench press, some kind of pull up, push pull with your lower legs, bench squat, deadlift. Those are the compound lifts that we do 4 reps, 4 sets.
Okay.
Okay. But then we support those. When you look in the appendices of Unbreakable, I think it's 251. We each one of those workout days starts with a compound lift, but then we support it. And the supporting lift range of all those exercises is about 8. So we back
Okay.
off it a little bit. So that's how I prescribe it.
Okay, great. I have some questions coming in, and they actually piggyback off of questions I have for you. So, cardiovascular, we think about running, jump roping, biking, these kinds of things. How much does this exercise matter in midlife, and about how much should we be in tandem with strength training?
Well, the number one reason women die is heart disease.
Hmm.
And so it's very important to keep your heart healthy, but not in the way that we're traditionally taught, where we work out in the middle zones of our hearts.
Right.
And so it's not slow enough to be most metabolically efficient, and it's not fast enough to really make an impact on your long-term health. And what it does is so many reps in the orange zone, or that middle range, uh, it's a lot of reps and you can end up getting hurt. So
Okay.
cardio is critical, but at low heart rate plus sprinting.
Okay. All right. I hate to hear it, but it's true, and I get it.
It
I
is
get
true.
it. It's
And
so
if you want to
important.
recompose your body, it's the sprinting and the lifting that does it.
Great. Um, you talk a lot about grip strength as a marker for longevity. Why
Yeah.
does it matter, and how can we improve it?
Well, okay. The studies on grip strength show that how strong your hands and upper arms are is a proxy for your overall strength. So it's
Okay.
actually not about grabbing a tennis ball and doing this. It's not just your hands.
Yeah.
It is a proxy for um, your total body strength, such that, and I want to quote this correctly, such that a change in 5 pounds of grip strength infers a 16% decline in all-cause mortality.
Wow.
So it's a reflection of how strong you are overall.
Okay. And ways to improve that would literally be, I
Lift
think,
heavy.
lift heavy in and of itself, as opposed to like actual just holding on to weights to improve your grip. Okay,
Because
lift.
it's not about your grip strength.
It's not
It's a
about your hand.
proxy for your total body strength.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Some people, Dr. Wright, think MHT is really about sort of the vasomotor symptoms of menopause still solely, but you connect it so directly to bone health. How do
Mm.
hormones protect our musculoskeletal system?
So both, well, all three, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone are critical for bone health. Of them, estrogen and testosterone. So the way estrogen works is by controlling what's called remodeling of your bones. So when we are full on hormoned, meaning making all our hormones, our bone is in good balance. We're only using what we need, we're replacing it. But when we lose our estrogen, we're taking away more bone than we're building. And so I'm glad you brought this up. Menopause, in my opinion, even though we talk most about night sweats, brain fog, um, that kind of symptom, because you can see them, what
Right.
you can't see is what's going to kill you. which is your bone density becoming less, your muscle mass becoming less, your microvascular heart disease, and the fact that your brain is starved for estrogen. You can't necessarily feel those. So if you do not have night sweats and brain fog, or any of the more similar things that we have, don't think you're getting away with something because
Yeah.
you still don't have any estrogen.
Yeah, that's so, so helpful. Thank you so much for
Hmm.
highlighting that. I want to move quickly to food. We are doing so well on time, by the way, Dr. Wright. We've got 20 minutes, everybody, and we
Yeah.
are getting all these questions in. Okay, food. A few simple nutrition habits that can support strong bones, muscles, healthy joints. I don't think people always think about how food is a factor. What should we be focused on?
Well, okay, can we please remember that we don't build anything useful in our bodies without eating?
Yeah,
I mean, the whole we're women and we starve ourselves is a good way to end up frail.
yeah.
So we eat, number one. We are not garbage disposals, so we care about what we eat. We eat protein, at least 1 gram per ideal pound a day. We are not going to eat sugar because sugar will bake us from the inside out. And if you're as vain as I am, it's going to give you wrinkly skin because
Hmm.
it's the glycation that this is the barbecue from the inside out. And sugar, not just because of the skin parts of it. It it is one of the biggest inflammatory substances we can eat. So if you're tired of being in pain, let's cut out the sugar.
Fantastic. Someone's asking about fasting and creatine. What are your thoughts on those?
On them separately or fasting?
Separately.
Yeah.
Separate.
So I don't believe, despite what you read, that active women can fast uh, and still do the exercises you need. So you have to choose,
Yeah.
right? To be as active as you need to and build muscle, I think you have to eat. Now, here's what I do hold to. Is called timed eating, meaning we don't eat 3 hours before we go to bed because that's going to disturb your sleep, which is critical. Number one. Number two, if you are trying to actually recompose your body, you may need to be in calorie deficit, but not thousands of calorie deficit. You can recompose your body with minus 300 or
Right.
minus 500. And that is a combination of decreased intake of food and increased exercise. So it's not thousands of calories, it's small. So that's how I feel about fasting. I know it's very popular, but as a working out person, you need
Right. You
calories,
need
right?
calories.
You
Yeah.
do. So
Yeah.
number one, and number two, creatine. Creatine, I've been working with creatine since 1992
Yeah.
when USA Wrestling started using it. The doses we use now are small enough that you don't have to load and cycle. So recently, some papers have come out about how good it is for your brain. So I have recently upped my dose from 5 grams a day to 10 grams a day so that it's both good for my muscle building and good for my brain.
Okay. Yeah, so helpful. Um, Dr. Wright, as we are speaking today and have in the past, I often think about women who are listening to you, will buy your book,
Mm,
Unbreakable,
I
follow
hope so.
you. They
Hmm.
will. They absolutely will. And are not feeling great, whether it's hormones or post injury. You
Yeah.
work with injured people daily. What do you
Yes.
say to them who want to get started, who want to be following your best practices, but are in this window of, I'm just not there, and you don't want them to injure themselves more? How can they get started?
Are they physically not there? Or are they mentally not there? That
Great
is a very big
question.
difference,
Okay,
right?
speak to both, would you?
So if you are hurt, let's say you pulled your hamstring. I saw somebody make a hamstring comment.
Mm,
Let's say you pulled your right hamstring. Okay, let's be honest. You have one other leg and you have two arms and you have a core. So
mm,
just because you injure one thing or maybe you have a frozen shoulder does not mean that the rest of you does not work. So that
right.
is not an excuse in my mind. You don't
Okay.
want to get injured again, fine. But sitting around, if you are in bed for 1 week, you're going to lose a high 9%, a high percentage of muscle. It happens.
Okay.
So That's you're not getting away from me just because one body part hurts, number one. Number two, if you just mentally are like, ugh, this
Mm-hmm.
sucks. Well,
Mm-hmm.
it does suck. I'm gonna agree with you. It sucks. But I'm also gonna tell you that if you do not take an action for yourself, whether it's a walk or reading a book or talking to a girlfriend about how you feel just so that you're heard or cutting out sugar, if you don't take one step, you are going to continue to feel like it sucks. So
Yeah.
one of the ways to get in front of this is just to make a tiny little step and then realize that you're worth it because you're going to feel better after you do one thing for yourself.
Dr. Vonda Wright, you're always so inspiring in so many ways, both mentally, physically. I'm curious what your own personal longevity practice looks like, your own non-negotiables.
Well, here's the good thing about Unbreakable. It is not a
Hmm.
theoretical book. It's not just what I've researched and put together in one place. It's actually what I do,
Yeah.
and it's actually what my patients do. I
Okay.
mean, as recently as last week, I work one-on-one with a lot of people, and after we gather all their data, they all get a copy of the book. And I'm like, turn to page 550, 251, because that's your workout program. Turn to
Mm.
page 241. This is how you start from nothing. So, my personal longevity plan is to be as knowledgeable as possible.
Okay.
I made my hormone optimization decisions. I am on everything. I am on transdermal estrogen, progesterone,
Good for you.
testosterone, vaginal estrogen,
Yeah.
facial estrogen. I mean, I am on it because, listen, I don't make it anymore.
I hear that.
Yep.
I hear that. I
And
want
then,
to. I want to mainline all of
well,
it.
yeah,
We
thank
need
God
it.
it's
We need it.
available to us.
Yes. Yes.
And then I do the kind of workouts, the FACE protocol, flexibility and range of motion, aerobic training with brisk walking and sprinting. I lift heavy and I work on my balance and equilibrium so that I don't fall down. That's it. That's what I do, just like I write about.
Somebody just said, love your attitude. I do too, Dr. Wright. I'm so thankful that you carved out 20 minutes for us
I'm
out of
so
your
sorry.
day.
I'm so
No, don't be
sorry.
sorry at all. And I want to reassure everyone that you will be back for a webinar. We'll sit
Oh,
down
all
for
the time.
a proper, calm conversation when Dr. Wright is sitting. And all of your questions will get answered. There's so much more to get into. Please, 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 if you haven't yet, go get the book Unbreakable. Prep yourself for our next conversation. And Dr. Wright, safe travels. Thank you
Thank you.
so very much. Talk to
I'll
you
talk to you
soon.
soon.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody. Thank you.